Hello everyone. So today I just want to talk to you about community with photography. So the factors surrounding photography are things that I don't see talked about too much. And what I've noticed about my own photography recently is that I actually prefer taking photos when I'm with people. So what I mean by that is that, for example, recently I went to the Leica factory with a large group of people. There's 180 people at this event, and it's Leica. Okay, we see it aimed at. We don't see it aimed at, but we see many people. I've seen Frono's Photo and all these big YouTubers all say, "Oh yeah, if you've got a Leica, you're a lawyer and a doctor." Okay, and I'm not going to lie, in some ways, some cases that's true, but actually, these brands are worldwide. And what I couldn't believe is when I got to this event, how many people were my age, and I had some of the best laughs of my life going to this event. Okay. And there was wine every night and drinking, and and it was just good people. And I enjoyed this aspect of photography, and I didn't realize it really existed. And I think what I see a lot is when you go on Facebook communities and things, you just see a load of arguments. You see some people saying great photo, but they don't tend to embellish on that. So they will say, I love that photo. But they won't say why. Or they'll say, I hate that photo, but they won't say why. And there's so many aspects to the community side of photography that really need to be thought about. And it's great going out with friends, taking pictures. Okay, first of all, you're safer. All the equipment we carry these days is all expensive. Okay, there's not a cheap camera anymore. Maybe you go out and buy a used DSLR or whatever, and that's fine. That's great. But what I'm talking about is if you do go and buy a new product. In the UK here, you're probably spending at least £1,000 just on the body if you're going for like a mirrorless system or whatever. That's a lot of money. So it's really nice when there's more than one person, because at least you feel a bit more confident should something happen to you along the way. Say you're in a big city. I mean, I'm traveling to New York in a few months in January, and I actually can't wait, but I am a little bit like, oh gosh, I'm going to be carrying, a lot of expensive equipment. But that's just how it is. That's one of those things, that you kind of live with. But if you can develop a community and a friends base with your photography, I think that will really help you as a photographer. So here in Manchester, in England, we have some small communities going on, but I'm trying to actually sort of add to that at the minute myself. I'm trying to find people that I can go and shoot with, because it's great to meet new people, and it's great to socialize and share this craft with other people. And the other thing as well is, I think sometimes I think I'm a lunatic. I've gone and spent all this money on this box that lets light into it, and I don't even know what it does. And I like my pictures, but am I the only crazy person out there doing it? When you meet other like-minded people, you realize you're really not the only person doing it, and that's great. So I'm just trying to suggest that maybe by seeing this video, you go in search on Facebook groups, you try and find people in your local area. You will end up making new friends, there's no doubt about it. And the other side to it is that we shouldn't be snobby in any way. If somebody can only afford a £200 or a $200 camera, and you've got a $10,000 camera, you can both still achieve amazing images. I'm still unsure about this whole iPhone photography movement and things like that, because generally I think that what that is really good for is getting people into it. But I think after you've carried on for a while, if you're a true photographer and enthusiast, you would want to at least buy even a cheap camera. That's the only thing I personally don't like. But even then, if you can take great photos on a phone because that's all you can carry, or that's all you want to carry, then that's great. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I would always push people to try a camera. there's nothing like holding, I'll choose this one. There's nothing like holding a camera, okay? It's just gonna make you think about it more, okay? So your phone is very easy to hold and you're very used to holding it, and you're not really gonna think too much about the picture. There are some people out there that call themselves iPhoneographers or whatever, and that's great, or phone photographers, and that is definitely a thing. But I would also say that if they used an actual camera, they'd have a different feeling throughout the process. So a race car driver will have a different feeling when they're in a racing car to a Land Rover. It's just a different way of doing things. And sometimes that feeling can lead to a different mindset, and it's good to push yourself. But back to the community aspect, this is what I want to try and push today, is that we all need to build on our hobby and our craft, and we're becoming a minority. Anybody with a camera, like I say, iPhones are sort of taking over. So people with cameras really need to stick together, and we need to build these communities now before there's not that many of us, and we can't find each other. And I just think it's a really nice way to go out and shoot. I think community with photography is more than just going out with friends as well. It's sharing your pictures, it's giving yourself critiques, and your friends' critiques, and just saying, what do you think about this and what do you think about that, and having actual feedback. We don't all have the luxury of photography tutors and teachers and people that are oracles in their craft and that can help us, but we do have friends who, I wouldn't go and ask your mum what you think of this picture, because if your mum's not into photography, she's just going to go, I like the colours or something like that. What I'd like is proper feedback. So that's something you can have from a photography friend. And these are just the things that we need to consider, that, photography should be something that's fun. It should be invigorating. It should be something that actually adds to our lives. And I feel often if I do go out on my own to my own city, it's not the same as when I'm with a friend or a group of friends. There's actually a group that you can pay in Manchester to go out and take pictures with. So you pay like £24. I think it's called the Manchester Photography Group. And there's another one which is worldwide. I think it's IGERS or whatever, IGERS, and then your home city or whatever. If there's a group there, you can sometimes meet up with those people. And you will meet some fantastic people and some fantastic photographers by doing these things. So it's just something to consider, that's all. I think my realization has come from doing various things with people, and then so much so recently where, I met a guy that we made great friends when I got to Germany and went to the Leica event, and the next day, he took me to his local town. Now that's somewhere I would never have seen. I wouldn't even know it exists. But he took me to his local town, and his local town happened to have a castle, an amazing strudel cafe. We had a good laugh, and that made the day so much better than if I just went there on my own and took pictures. Or, I've just split up with my girlfriend, that's a long story, but if I was with her, I noticed that obviously, that person maybe doesn't take pictures and you do, and you feel that burden and that stress because you want to take the pictures, but you feel like it's going to cause an argument or it's going to cause an issue, or they're not going to have the same time as you. And you can try and pre-arrange that. You can say, maybe you go to the spa that day, darling, and I'll go and take pictures, but then you're on your own. So you can't really win. Whereas if you go out with photography friends, they understand. Okay, if you run across the road for no reason to most people, but you're going to take a picture, they'll understand it. And like I say, the results afterwards can be shared as well, which is an even better thing. So let me know what you think about photography as a community, and how you find friends. Do you go on Facebook? Do you go on Instagram? Do you connect with people through other means? I don't know. Do you find groups to go out with? Do you go on photo tours? Do you do things like that? All this is something that we can help each other with, because maybe you've got some ideas of how to find like-minded people, because I do think that there's a lot of mental health issues in the world, and I think sometimes socializing can be a great way to just relieve our stresses even for an hour. And it's never going to make us better, but it's going to help us. And it's just something that I just wanted to put a video out there about. So please make sure you comment below and just give me ideas, and give everybody ideas that's watching this, as to how you find friends and make friends in the photography community, and what you like to do with those guys and girls. What do you, where do you go? What do you shoot? You know, that sort of thing. And maybe you've got some great ideas, and if there's any groups that, you know, you can share as, like, you know, Facebook groups and things, feel free to leave them below. I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for everybody out there, because I just want to help this community and try and build it. So thanks for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you soon.